The story of the 2023 Blue Jays season. You either win in the most stressful way possible, or you lose in the most heartbreaking fashion. And it happens again tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays as they come from behind being down 5-0 to the Tampa Bay Rays. They basically get gifted the lead. And Jordan Romano, I understand, before going into today, he had closed, I think it was 26 straight games without blowing a save. He'd been outstanding. But you see him looking at his fingers, that he's got a blister or something going on there. And he tries to push through. Schneider sees it. Everybody sees it. They let him go. And the Jays get walked off 7-6 at the Trop. And you can look at this game in so many different ways. You got to be proud of the offense because you know what? When they went down 5-0, I was like, yeah, they're cooked. The way this offense has been, the inability to get any really big hits in the early parts of this ball game looked quite painful. It looked really painful to watch. And it looked like they were going to get nothing. It looked like they were going to get absolutely nothing out of it. And they were going to get walloped, and that was going to be the end of that. They fought back. They had a really big sixth inning, right? A 2-run double from George Springer. An RBI single from Vladdy. An RBI double from Kevin Biggio. Giving you a 5-4, or bringing it within one. It was 5-4 at the time. And you had so many chances in so many different instances to expand on it or score more runs. In the second and third innings combined, you had guys at second and third 2 out or bases loaded 2 out, and you get nothing. It's unfortunately that Tyler Heineman and Dalton Varsho were the guys coming up to the plate, and on both times, first pitch groundouts to first base. I mean, it was painful, right? And you look at that, you even look at that top of the 8th, and I understand everything went sideways for the Rays, and the Jays were putting up runs, they were getting base runners, and they ended up taking the lead 6-5, but you had the bases loaded and 2 out for Davis Schneider, a chance to drive in a run, drive in a couple more runs, and expand on it. That's what was so important about yesterday when the Jays went into that 9th inning, when they were only up 4-2, but they were able to expand on it, add a couple more, and make it a 6-2 lead. They didn't do that today, and they got burned. A big question mark that I have, John Schneider, why was Tim Mayza not out there facing Josh Lowe? I don't get that. Romano clearly doesn't have his great stuff. He's getting hit around like crazy. After throwing a ton of pitches yesterday, he threw 19 today. And even after the review of the play at first base to see if it was an inning-ending double play, and it ended up being safe, you thought with the lefty coming up to bat with 2 out, you'd want to get Tim Mayza out there to get that out. And Mayza's been incredible this year when it comes to inherited base runners not scoring. So that's a perfect opportunity. Mayza was already warming up as well. So you bring him in, try and get Josh Lowe out, and then you piece things together after that. But they don't. They decide to continue with Romano, and then Josh Lowe walks it off. That's the one giant question I have in this game for John Schneider. Why did they just leave Romano out there for the entire 9th inning? And Hyunjin Ryu was awful early on. That's really the story of the game. Yandy Diaz hitting a solo shot, the first batter of the ball game, and I believe it was 2 straight walks, or was it a walk and a hit by pitch in the bottom of the first? So it's 2 walks. Harold Ramirez and Caminero, the guy making his big league debut, walks, so nobody puts the ball in play, and they have 2-1, and then Josh Lowe hits a 3-run shot. Ryu wasn't great early on. Sure, he dialed it in. It was decent the rest of the way. Allowed a solo shot to Christian Bethancourt. It was just a wall scraper, but it left the ballpark. That was to make it 5-0 at the time. Other than Ryu's really bad first and Romano's tough 9th, the Jays played well. But problem is, it doesn't matter. Because now you lose this game, and this one hurts. If you lost 5-0 or even 5-4 and you didn't score any more runs after that big 4-run inning, you would have looked at the game and you would have said, okay, it's a tough one, right? Ryu wasn't great. You still have a chance to win the series tomorrow. But today, you were leading in the 9th inning, and you blew it. That one hurts, and now Jays fans, all we do is look at Seattle, Texas, and Houston, Kansas City, and fingers crossed. At this point, with Texas winning Game 1 yesterday against Seattle, you're now cheering for Texas. You want Texas to beat Seattle because then the Jays don't lose any ground on Seattle. They stay a game and a half up. And if KC finds a way again, I mean, they're already up 1-0. It's only the first inning. If KC finds a way to beat Houston again, you don't lose any ground on them either. And sure, Texas, but they're going to, if they win today, if they win this game, and like I said, if Houston loses, Texas would go up, a game and a half in the division, and they're just kind of just going to take it the rest of the way, in my opinion, at that point. So for the Blue Jays, right now we scoreboard watch. It was a very painful finish to this ball game. And you got to get back on the horse tomorrow and find a way. Like, there were so many different instances in today where you could have scored a lot more runs. Whit Merrifield getting thrown out of the plate after a shallow fly ball from Kevin Kiermaier. There's so many different ways this team could have scored even one more run. But they couldn't do it, and they get walked off 7-6 at the Trop, the House of Horrors for the Toronto Blue Jays. Offensively, what'd you get? Bo Bichette, 2 for 5 with a run scored in the ball game. Vladdy had a really good day at the plate. 2 for 3 with a run scored, an RBI, walked twice. Got on base 4 of the 5 times that he came to the plate. Kevin Biggio, 2 for 4 with a walk. With 2 doubles. He continues to rake the baseball, but after that, it's tough to watch. Matt Chapman went 0 for 3, got hit twice. But that's the only way he's been getting on recently, is via the hit by pitch. He's been struggling with the bat, and we saw yesterday with the glove how painful that was to watch. Luckily, it didn't come back to hurt you. Dalton Varsho 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Witt came on and he got on base via the error and got an RBI, obviously. And he walked once as well. Davis Schneider 0 for 4 with a strikeout, and the mighty struggles for the young Davis Schneider continues. As the 0 for streak continues to just be a real big burden on this young fella. He has not had a hit since Game 2 of the Texas series. That's a long time ago. That was September the 12th. And that is what? Getting close to 2 weeks ago. So ever since he had 1 hit. It's really rough to watch. Espinal came in off the bench and had a really good, he went 1 for 1. Tyler Heineman went 1 for 3 with a run scored, so he did his job as the backup catcher. 10 hits for the Blue Jays, 9 strikeouts, walked 4 times. Bottom line, you scored 6 runs. You should have won the ball game. You had the lead in the 9th. You should have won the ball game. Jimmy Garcia was great. Trevor Richards was great. Chad Green was incredible. Genesis Cabrera came in. He's got his one guy. The rest of the bullpen was awesome. Just Jordan Romano struggled. Ryu struggled early. And you lost. It's tough. It really, really, really is tough to watch for the Toronto Blue Jays. But the finale of the series goes tomorrow. It's a 1:10 first pitch at the Trop. Yusei Kikuchi versus Taj Bradley. And if the Jays win that game, hey, they've won the series. And no matter what happened today, if you win tomorrow, it's a success. Winning 2 or 3 at the Trop is a mission and a half. And to do so this late in the year when every win is important would be great. But then we think about how, you should have swept the series. But it doesn't matter. Got to get to tomorrow. It's painful right now watching this team play. But you got to go out there tomorrow and get a win. There's end of story. It is what it is. Get an early lead. Can we not go down 4-5-0? Taj Bradley's numbers are not good this year. He's thrown 95 innings. He's an ERA of 5.36. Enough said. Do a job tomorrow. Get a win. Find a way. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and not the ending to this game because it ripped your heart out as a Jays fan, but as a Toronto sports fan, we're used to this stuff. Hit the like button if you guys enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys not already. Comment down below thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff is down below, so follow up there. If you have not done so already, and I'll talk to you. Of course, I'll be here tomorrow. Jays edition. Actually, before I say Jays edition, Leafs edition. Game 1 of the preseason goes tomorrow afternoon. It's a 2 p.m. puck drop in Ottawa against the Sens as the Leafs open up their preseason schedule tomorrow afternoon. Can't wait for that one to get going. And as for the Blue Jays, as I mentioned, Yusei Kikuchi, Taj Bradley is the pitching matchup there at 1:10. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and not the result today. Talk to you guys then.